Got it early and everything.
Yeah, and got hardly took any of my kidney, which is, when you go under, you don't know if you're going to have a kidney left if I go in there. But I mean, the prognosis was great and everything was according to plan.
We'll wait
And so now
another
we're just
couple
keep on
minutes.
watching that, see
There
if
he
it
is.
comes back again. But yeah, it was just real. I mean, I'm a testimony to getting.
That makes me feel better.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, just and so like my wife hasn't done it because. And I said, "No, it's really small dose. Yeah, they that's just.
What is that? Blinds up or down? What you guys want? It's a Demar.
Every other one.
Every other one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, let's go all the way. Let's go all the way.
Yeah.
Let's go all the way.
Good luck.
Let's be bold today. Yeah.
And everybody, called the meeting to order. Notice meeting was properly posted on November the 5th. Item one is discussion possible action on our minutes of October 26th.
Motion to approve minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Two, discussion possible action regarding an update on Oklahoma County Office of Emergency Management space, include temporary space, and the downtown annex and the Krause facility. Didn't we?
Mr. Chairman, we did strike this last, but just in
Okay.
case, I'll make a motion to strike again.
Second.
Unless there's somebody that would like to speak about it, and there's not, so.
All in favor?
Aye.
Three, discussion possible action on our meeting schedule for calendar year 2022.
Motion to approve calendar.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Four, discussion possible action on an update from staff regarding our TIF 2 projects. That would be our social distancing and space allocation for clerk's books, etc. And an update on the sixth floor. Anyone? Any updates? Any questions? Action there. Five is update on our TIF 2 and TIF 8 budgets.
Spoke with Stacy, nothing new from his. It's gonna be from Keith. That does not mean you have to get up and speak. Nothing new. All right.
Okay, so I don't know that you could hear Miles, but he said he spoke with Stacy. Stacy had nothing new on his end, nothing from Keith, no action. Six, discussion possible action on the ongoing space utilization plan for the county annex, specifically the west end of the first floor and the sixth floor build out. Nothing? Bob, do you have anything? I think we're status quo.
months ago, we said that the state would be a faster way to do it. You could have easily bid it out 3 months ago, and we
We
could
didn't have
start.
plans.
What?
We didn't have the necessary plans to be able to go out to bid.
Okay,
They're
so
in the process of developing those. Other than that, I don't think anything has changed.
I guess I don't understand why the plans are taking so long. I mean, an architect, I mean, it was basically drawn. I mean, an architect may have had to put a few things in. The mechanical stuff has been done or should have been done months ago. You had years ago. You guys have had that contract. I mean, it's getting ridiculous. I'm serious. I can't keep doing it.
We've had numerous changes. Offices have been moved and moved again and moved for fifth and sixth and seventh times. And every time that we do that, it's a change in the way that the mechanical has to be set up, the way the fire suppression has to be set up, the way the electrical has to be set up. These are all drawings that are being done to the changes by the three occupants that are on that floor that are being done by the architect. As soon as that architectural drawing is up, we will have the ability to go out for bid.
Do we have
And we'll
any
be able to
idea
get
when
something
the
done.
architect is going to be done? Because I heard they were going to be done a month ago.
I would love to tell you what the architect is doing, but I do not know. I don't know where the architect's at as far as his timeline. We did have a meeting up there. Architect, mechanical, electrical, myself, Keith, Stacy on the floor 2 weeks ago to discuss the items that would be placed and how they would be placed and what types of systems, what types of electrical outlets, what kind of information systems were going to be placed up there, where it would be placed. Those things are happening. There are a lot of things that are moving just because it's difficult to see walls and stuff, and nobody really realizes what's being done until you see an actual wall up and ready to move in. There is certainly motion. We are certainly still moving forward, and as soon as we're able to put it out to bid, I can guarantee you that we will be having this out to bid and on the streets, because I know that District 1 is probably just as excited to get back on the 6th floor as I am. So
I guess my only request is that maybe you could push the architect and get a firm date from the architect as to when it's supposedly going to be ready for you all to bid it out. So at least my people who complain on a daily basis to me because they don't have individual offices, they don't have doors on their offices, they don't have enough conference rooms, that I would somehow be able to at least tell my staff on a regular basis, well, the architect is going to be done in 2 weeks. I told them when I was told a month ago that they were going to be done, I told my people the architect was going to be done and they were going to be able to bid it right away. That's what I told them because that's what I was told. And now we're a month further down the line and we're coming up to Christmas, and then it's going to be New Year's, and then it's going to be Valentine's Day, and we're never going to get anything done.
It very well might be. I mean, you're asking us to tell you something that we can't give you an answer to.
Well,
We're
you
also
all have
asking
the ability to at least push the architect.
Okay, we push the architect and then we go out to bid, but guess what? We don't get any good bids. We get contractors that aren't available to start immediately. We start, we're not able to get materials. You're standing there doing the same thing that you're doing today. And I don't mean to be disrespectful, but you're asking us to tell you something that we can't tell you. We're moving forward. I mean, as Miles said, and granted, you all do very important work. And the work that we do does not compare to what you do. But we have been displaced just as long as you have. We are eager to get back as well.
Yeah, but you all have individual offices with doors. There's one door in my whole office. And that's, so if we're going to be there for 3 or 4 or 5 more years, then let's figure out what we're going to be there for.
The only person saying 3 or 5 more years is you.
I'm sorry.
You're the only person that has thrown that number out that I'm aware of. 3 to 5 years.
We're over 3.5. We're almost 3.
Bob, I realize where we're at. We were affected as well. I mean, when the chiller or whatever it was that originally froze, our offices were the first one that were impacted. We had standing water. Cody and I were in there running shop vacs trying to get the water out. We're fully aware of how long we've been out of that office. And I think Miles just gave you a very good update on where we're at. I think maybe Keith can provide some clarity.
No, you're exactly right. We've got so many things we've got to jump over here and so many potential obstacles. My question is there any way or anything we can do to help you now where you are?
I need to know how, if it's gonna be 3 or 4 years, yeah, there's a lot of things you can do for me. If it's gonna be 6 months or to another year when I'm gonna be in there, that's a different story.
I can make a call
Bob,
to the
I can-
architect, find out where they are exactly. I'll call OMES and talk to them about how long this process will take, and then come up with at least some timeline that far. I don't know how long construction's gonna take. I don't know how much more money we're gonna have to come up with. Given the way things are moving in the building industry today, I'd be afraid to hazard a guess as to how long. Mechanical contractors say they can't even get hard numbers weekly on supplies. Copper, cast iron, plumbing supplies, fittings.
Aluminum, steel,
Yeah,
gypsum
every
for
kind of
drywall,
material.
copper for wiring. Bob, we're in, I don't know if you've noticed, supply lines are breaking down.
And
Supply
go
ahead.
to that point of contractors can't get materials, and Bob, I understand you'd like to have private offices, but even saying, okay, we'll do something over there, it's still a matter of getting contractors. It's still a matter of getting materials in order to be able to do that.
I would suggest putting up curtains, but I'm afraid we'd have to field lots of jokes.
I don't know that curtains would do it. I think one of the things that one of the things that I came to understand about Bob's drawings on his offices and all the really small ones is because when you're talking to your clients, it's important to have that attorney-client privilege. It's important to have that privacy. Now, what that client is able to say in front of an office that has 2 people in it versus the office that has 1 person in it is suddenly that person sitting there that's working on another case gets drawn in because they were suddenly a witness to what his testimony was. So I understand that. And to Keith's point, what can we do to help you now? Because I'm not going to tell you that you're going to be in there in 6 months. I'm not going to tell you you're going to be there in 18 months because there's nothing guaranteed right now. I mean, you look at people that are building houses and they're delayed for 24 months because they can't get the materials. A lot of those materials are the same materials we're going to be using on the 6th floor. I do not want to tell you when you're going to be in there because there is no way that I can guarantee that. What I can do is I can ask you to work with Keith what we can do to help solve your situation in the spot that you're in right now, and let's move forward with that.
Think about it, like some offices, my health division, there are 3 people in there. They get on the phone and the other 2 people can't do any work at all, okay? Because they're all 3 up on 7.5, sharing part of 7.5.
I get that. And again, I'm ready to help you. I think we're all ready to help you. And if that includes us leaving our office so those 3 individuals can have the District 3 office and I go park inside of engineering, I don't have a problem with that. Let's get together. Let's put our heads together. Let's come up with a solution and let's move forward. I mean, standing up here and letting us argue about it,
That's great.
we can't do anything
I
about
mean,
it.
if I know it's gonna be, because if I know it's gonna be a long time, there are things that you can do in those offices. There's no question about.
Yep.
You can buy dividers in certain areas. You can put up some type of doors in certain areas.
Yep.
I mean, you can use the doors that are sitting up on 6 right now that have been used, so you don't have to worry about buying new doors. Yeah, I'll put all that together if that's what.
Absolutely. Work with Keith, talk with me. I'll walk around your office and look at it and you can show me the issues and we can come up with solutions and hopefully those solutions are 1, inexpensive, 2, we're able to get the materials, and 3, I mean, I would love to use the materials that we already have, Bob, but I mean, I don't know that they fit, so.
That may take a lot of time and trouble. If you're
Yeah.
willing to give your offices up, that's something that could be done today.
I better check with the commissioner first.
I
Uh,
understand,
but-
that can
But
be,
I think that's an option.
that can be done right now.
I certainly think that's an option. But that's only for 3 people. That's only moving
But
the
that
7th
can be
floor.
done today is my point.
But you're still not gonna give up the 7th floor over there just to do that. So he needs individual, and that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potential offices, or it could be 4 offices in a conference room. I mean, let's get together, let's talk about it, and we'll move forward.
Call the architect, find out, and, I mean, all of this doesn't matter if the architect says, I have it tomorrow, and you're able to give it to Chantel, and then, or to OMS,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, so there are so many delays ahead of us here. I would plan.
Okay, Bob, thanks. We do want to move forward and timely. All right. So anything else on item, I believe that was 6. Motion to receive the
Second.
So moved.
discussion. Yeah.
Second.
All right. 7, discussion possible action on the Triple X stabilization project.
Is that the stream bank stabilization?
Steam Bank.
I have nothing.
Okay. No action. 8, discussion possible action on the Canadian River project near the Wilshire Bridge. I don't have anything there. No action. 9, discussion possible action on our capital improvements list. Any changes? Okay. No action. 10, discussion possible action on the condition and repairs needed for the social services building. I don't believe we need any discussion on that item, as it's also being discussed in policy and governance. 11, discussion possible action on directional signage in the foyers and the floor landings of the county annex and courthouse building.
I put that on. I'm proposing that Keith gets with the new snack bar that has opened and just provide them some directional signage on the different landings and like in the courthouse so that everyone knows that they're there and that they're open and everything. And also while we're at it, put something in the annex for Cleo, that they know that there's a shoe shine person in the courthouse to be able to kind of cross-pollinate between the 2 buildings, if you will, to know that those services are available.
We can make the recommendation to BOCC that they put that signage on. I think it's a good idea. Do you have proposed signage or what? I mean, what are you talking about? Are we talking flyers? Are we talking stickers on floors? Are we talking?
I was just thinking, I was going to direct facilities to get with the 2 vendors and just see what makes the most sense.
Does it take the shape of advertising or merely direction?
No, I was just direction so that if I'm on the 7th floor of the courthouse, I just know that there is a
Snack bar somewhere.
yeah, not much different from what you have on every place else throughout the building, letting people know that legal services is on the 6th floor or judge, what all the different things that we have already. We just don't have it for those services.
Could the monitors on each floor in this building be used as well, or is that something you don't want to consider?
So Keith, Charles, I appreciate you putting this
Yeah.
on because this actually allows me to, I think it's about time we do kind of an audit / inventory of our signage to make sure everything is in compliance with ADA. Any new signage that they're talking about placing obviously needs to meet ADA standards. So if you could,
I'll get health and safety to help me with that.
Yeah, and I would broaden to existing signage, correct? Yeah, just kind of an overhaul or review of everything that's existing too, right, Joe? That's where you're going. I agree.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think this item broad enough to allow us to have that discussion.
There are a lot of. I mean, I've noticed a lot of signs going up that I don't recall ever voting on. So those would be some of the interesting ones I'd like to see.
Okay. All right, Keith, thank you. Anything else on this? Is there a motion to receive that update?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Citizens' participation? Board comments? Charles?
None.
Miles?
No, thank you.
None here. New business? Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. All righty, thank you. All right, call the PBA Advisory Committee to order. Notice the meeting was posted on November the 5th. Item 1 is discuss possible action on the minutes of October 26th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, 2 is our scheduled meetings for calendar year 2022.
Motion to approve calendar.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 3, discussion possible action on the ICB exterior envelope project.
I'm told we'll have the final report by Thanksgiving.
All right, motion to receive that brief.
So moved.
Second, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
4, discussing possible action regarding security in the ICB, including personnel, equipment, installation of equipment, location, hours of operation, and other related costs.
There's nothing new here, except David Basin did tell me that there may be some cost escalation if we delay any further.
Is that because of equipment or?
I didn't ask why.
Okay.
Okay.
It's kind of,
If-
let me ask this, where are we at with this? If we were to say, move forward today and make a recommendation to PBA to do this, if we have I'm reluctant to kick off a brand new project when we can't finish 6, but I'm also reluctant not to do some sort of security in that building if we're going to have the public defenders and everybody else in there for more time than what we intend.
I think the costs are good today, and it would merely take a vote of the PBA to instruct staff to act. There's $143,000 annually of deputy costs that David Basin has outlined. Also, $40,458 in hard costs for the ICB. There would be the need to remove one office near the handicapped elevator in the north stairwell, but I think this could be moved on pretty quick if a decision were made. Now, I'm not sure as to timelines for delivery for equipment. Basin could speak to that.
Is the tenant that we would need to relocate been advised of these discussions?
Yeah, she actually wants to move to a different location and is in the process of doing so.
On that same floor or?
On the same floor.
How quickly could you start?
We would just take a telephone call to David Basin to tell him move forward, assuming the funds were in place to do so.
My biggest fear isn't how quickly can you start. My biggest fear is how quickly can you finish.
I can't speak for Basin. It won't take me long to tear up an office.
Right. Fully aware. Tear down's easy.
Mhm. There are some electrical considerations. You can't ever tell what we'll run into there, but I don't see any reason why this couldn't move fairly quickly. Again, I can't speak to how fast Basin could get the equipment in. Maybe he's got the equipment, I don't know.
So Keith, can you follow up with Basin and answer some of those questions?
Sure.
Joe, my thought here is to secure that building sooner rather than later. 1, 2,
2 years ago?
yeah. One,
You
I
could work in
want
facilities.
I want to talk to the tenant, and I want to hear from him myself. I understand that we've gone down this road before, and I don't want to go down that road again. Oh gosh,
They can tell you one thing and change their minds the next day.
fully aware of that.
Certainly in 2 years' time.
Secondarily, I want to know how quickly Basin, if he's got the equipment, or how quickly he can get it in, because I don't want to tear something up and then sit there for the next 18 months.
If you wait just a minute, we'll put a phone call in to answer that question.
Well, I was gonna suggest that we maybe either schedule a special to discuss it, or we could just recess this one to another date. Either way.
We've got the 16th, is that right? Where we'll come back and discuss
So 7 days from now.
the one issue we could potentially
Okay, yeah,
recess,
that
allow
works.
them to get that. In terms of the hours of operation, Keith, no one over there operates beyond 5 or 6 o'clock.
That's not
terms
true.
of
We've got
seeing
some tenants,
clients?
we've got some tenants that come in after hours. We have some come in for drug, testing on the weekends. So the building is utilized every day.
So in your conversation with Baisden, can you ask what his plan would be? Would we issue badges to those individuals that lease space from us for them and their employees?
Yeah.
Background checks on those folks necessary?
I think that
It
was his
would-
plan. He was going to make the Harvey entrance similar to what the entrance on the south side of the courthouse is, and egress, emergency egress only, and badged access on the north door.
From a perspective of I'm someone that leases space and you're giving me a badge, I would hope that that badge wouldn't provide unfettered access to this building when,
It's my understanding that the badge can be specific to any particular door or location. So we would limit those tenants in the ICB to the north door access for access after hours and on the weekends.
so talk with Baisden then about how it would work in order for us to, one of the reasons in security that building was we were going to be able to transition back and forth without having to swipe. Bob's folks have to swipe in and out down on 3, just like we do. So how that would work during hours of operation for this building, that would be unrestricted access because you've come through security. But after hours access for ICB tenants, we should keep this separated off, right? So just make
Yes,
sure.
keep the
Baisden-
fourth floor separated, yes.
Right, yeah,
And those offices on 3 and 4.
yeah, just as long as that's part of the equation as well.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Anything else? All right, is there a motion to receive the update?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. 7, discuss some possible action regarding capital projects at the Lincoln Building, a parking lot, and a marquee.
It's
Oh,
5.
5, I apologize.
5, 6, and 7, and 8 are all capital improvement projects for ICB locations. The numbers are stale. And I was asked to put this on, so I can do the same thing here. Update the dollar figures and get an idea as to timelines.
The parking lot at the Lincoln Building, there's nothing attached. Which parking lot are we talking about? The north side, the south side, the whole thing south of the building that's in the fenced off area? All the stuff that has weeds growing out of it. I mean, I'm sure that the cost of asphalt right now, we'd love to reclaim a bunch of that stuff.
It's their county engineer, and he calculated $1 per square foot for 2-inch thick asphalt. And there are square footage numbers on each of those parking lots associated with Lincoln. I have asked for some help with major problems in the asphalt parking lot immediately south of the election board.
Is that the one in the fenced off area?
What's the marquee repair for, or what's the
We
$75,000
talked about this some
represent?
time ago. It's falling down. We freshened it. We looked at replacing that with something that could be electronically controlled in the event things change or you're having a particular type of event there. I know that number. Believe it's a $75,000 figure. I think that'll have to be updated for sure.
Is it something that the tenants are requesting, or just something we believe that needs to be done?
That's something at the time we discussed this needed to be done.
Okay.
We freshened it. It was falling down
Mhm.
out there and looked terrible.
So it's stable, it's not dangerous, it just needs to be updated.
Okay. It's made less terrible.
So Keith, the area south of the building would be the most immediate need? Is that
The fenced-in area?
here?
And I believe that can be, that can be patched. It doesn't need to be completely resurfaced. So Brian Jasper's in the process of getting me numbers for that.
Are you asking to pave the two most eastern parking lots on that site?
No, but if you were, the
The
area
cost?
would give you some idea as to what the cost is. Or if you had some other idea as to how that parking lot could or would be used, you've got an idea as to how much square footage is there.
I'll make a motion to receive the document.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You have to make a copy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Keith, anything else?
No.
All right. Anything else? Motion to receive the report?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. No, you're not? I heard.
Yep.
6, just have some possible action on Metro 1 and 2 capital projects, cameras and elevator badge access.
The same thing, these numbers will have to be updated.
Okay. See any action necessary then? 7, discuss some possible action on capital projects for ICB, security, which we just touched on in a previous item, and a new roof.
We're in the process of getting a quote through OMES for that.
Okay. Anything else on those? Motion to receive that update.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
8, discuss possible action on capital projects at the Kraus Building, including a possible second floor build out and an elevator.
You can see that those net numbers are stale. And the methodology we would employ has completely changed, so that's irrelevant, but
Okay. So no action on 8, citizens participation, board comments, Miles,
Nothing.
Charles,
None.
none here, new business, anything? Adjourn.
Most of it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.